Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. In today's vlog, my primary focus will be on two columns by Pakistan's prominent Urdu columnist Hafizullah Niazi. In these columns, he presents an analysis of how Pakistan's general, specifically General Asim Munir's team, is creating a situation where Imran Khan's place within Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, could be taken over by his sister Aleema Khan. Hafizullah Niazi argues that Aleema Khan, in a formal sense, is not involved in this process, but he gives a detailed analysis of the conspiracy being played by the generals. The first column came out on September 5th and was titled Janshin Imran Khan, or Successor to Imran Khan, while the second one was published on September 12th, titled Wazir-e-Azam Aleema Khan, or Prime Minister Aleema Khan. Following these publications, there was a great deal of buzz, and many people began discussing it on social media. I will discuss this strategy of the generals in detail using Hafizullah Niazi's columns, but before I delve into that, there are other developments which I cannot discuss in detail today. However, in the coming days I will address some of these developments with detailed graphics. For now, let me give you an overview of what's happening on the global stage. I think one of the most important developments from both the regional and global perspective is the Ministerial Summit, followed by the Heads of State Summit, scheduled for Sunday in Doha. Foreign ministers from Muslim countries, both Arab and non-Arab, will gather to discuss and prepare a proposal addressing Israel's growing dominance, especially regarding Israel's military actions on various countries. The discussion will center on how to counter Israel's Prime Minister and halt his actions. On Monday, the heads of state will join the talks. Some of the key leaders expected to attend are Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, UAE's Mohammed bin Zayed, Iran's president, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, who has confirmed his attendance. This summit is drawing the attention of the entire world. Meanwhile, on Friday, US President Donald Trump hosted a dinner for Qatar's visiting Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, who has been very active in engaging the US media. During the dinner, Special Envoy Steve Witter participated as well. Donald Trump's current situation is delicate, as he tries to explain how Israel's recent actions in Qatar went unnoticed by the US, which is a highly controversial issue. Analysts argue that American forces stationed in Qatar ignored the Israeli attack, thereby complicating the diplomatic situation. In addition, after the Israeli attack, UAE's leader Mohammed bin Zayed undertook a whirlwind tour, visiting Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, and engaging global leadership, warning of the growing threats to the Arab economy. This situation directly threatens the economic progress of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, both dependent on peace and stability. The economic situation in these countries, contingent on peace, is becoming increasingly unstable. On the internal front in Pakistan, the ISPR, or Inter-Services Public Relations, admitted that in the last 72 hours, Pakistan's military lost 19 officers and soldiers in clashes with militants in South Waziristan. The militants, often referred to as Fitna Hindustan or Fitna al-Khawaz, continue to cause significant harm. After this tragic loss, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Army Chief General Asim Munir visited the combined military hospital in Banu to assess the situation, which is a major sign of Pakistan's growing internal challenges. In the last 48 hours, there's been a controversy regarding engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza, a prominent figure who is known for taking an unconventional approach to religious matters. He has been arrested on physical remand for 7 days, and there is speculation about whether this is a strategy to boost his public profile. Many critics believe this controversy may be part of an attempt to escalate certain issues within Pakistan's religious and political landscape. These are issues that are routinely magnified by Pakistan's so-called scholars and clerics. Such ongoing debates on trivial matters only harm the state and society, as the political discourse in Pakistan becomes ever more divisive. In Britain, right-wing extremists like Tommy Robinson organised a protest march in London, with over 100,000 protesters rallying against the government's approach to Muslim immigrants. This movement, which blends anti-immigrant sentiment with freedom of speech, has raised significant tensions within the British government. The government has taken steps to control the growing anti-immigrant movements, leading to the arrest of many Palestinian supporters in the United Kingdom, including those linked to the Action Palestine group. Furthermore, international figures, including Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson, have been very vocal in their support for the Palestinian cause, adding fuel to the already heated debates in Western countries. These growing pressures from the far right are being felt across the Western world. Switching to Nepal, President Ramchandra Pudel recently announced a new election for March 5, 2026, following the formation of an interim government led by former Chief Justice Sushila Koirala. This has been widely welcomed in India, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressing support for Nepal's progress. This political development is seen as a victory for democracy and human rights, though China remains silent on the matter. In the context of Pakistan, Hafizullah Niaz's columns bring our attention to the recent developments within the PTI party and the internal politics of the Khan family. As I mentioned earlier, the first column, titled Janshin Imran Khan, appeared on September 5th, and the second, Wazir-e-Azam Aleema Khan, was published on September 12th. Hafizullah Niazi, despite his criticism of Imran Khan, has a close familial relationship with him, as his wife is Imran's cousin, and they share a significant connection. This personal aspect inevitably impacts his writings. It is important to remember that Niazi's analysis is not completely objective. There is an emotional tone in his columns, and some of his frustrations about not being given a larger role within PTI, despite his family connections, come through. However, Niazi's writings still provide valuable insights into the internal dynamics of Pakistan's political landscape, and even though he criticizes Imran Khan, his analysis is highly intelligent and based on substantial experience. In 2002, Imran Khan tasked Niazi with formulating PTI's election strategy, and from 2002 to 2012, Niazi played a key role in PTI's strategy. At one point, he even tried to convince Shah Mahmood Qureshi to join PTI after Qureshi had resigned as foreign minister. However, the relationship between Niazi and Imran Khan has soured, especially due to the former's personal and professional aspirations. While Hafizullah Niazi acknowledges that Aleema Khan is not consciously part of the military conspiracy, he maintains that the generals are still playing a political game, positioning her as a future leader within PTI. His columns provide a nuanced view of how PTI's internal power struggle could unfold, suggesting that the military might be attempting to control PTI's leadership in a way that might eventually elevate Aleema Khan over Imran. However, Niazi's criticism of Imran Khan is clear, and he expresses a sense of personal and political deprivation, as he believes he deserved a more prominent role within PTI. This strategy, as Niazi outlines, hints at an eventual shift in PTI's leadership, where the military might subtly influence or even push for Aleema Khan to assume power, leveraging her familial connection to Imran Khan to solidify control over the party. People often fail to understand this. Now, what is the significance of this example? The importance of this example is that I had said at that time that the vloggers within Pakistan do not need to shut down their YouTube channels in order to control the ISI. The ISI is wise enough to have created a permissible space within Pakistan for discussion. They manage this space by strategically directing it, but those within Pakistan have dozens of ways to deal with it. If not hundreds, at least dozens of methods exist through which any media person, columnist, vlogger, podcaster, or political leader in Pakistan can be manipulated and forced to operate within a certain narrative or wavelength. The entire Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, operates in a similar way through such strategies. So my argument was that there is no need for the magistrate to get involved to shut down their channels. The authorities can do much more. A small example of this is the recent past, when in the last 72 hours, Pakistan's prominent Safi Samina Pasha had her television programs shut down. They froze her bank accounts. Now, clearly, if you are getting money from YouTube, it will be through your bank account. They can even change your bank account. But they have many other ways. They can go after anyone in Pakistan's geography and shut down their YouTube channel without needing to go to Google. They can pick them up, intimidate them, be strict with them, harass their families, freeze bank accounts, create disturbances in their properties. There are numerous ways to do it. Their real problem is with people like me. People like Haider Mehdi, Sadiq Azmi, Waqar Malik, Imran Riaz, Wajahat Said Khan, Shahbaz and others. These are the people they have a problem with. And what does this mean? It means that the vloggers in Pakistan, those who are like me, have to go to court because they are not part of any conspiracy of the ISI or the establishment. When the authorities shut down their YouTube channels through an order from the magistrate, it's obvious that they will run to the High Court for relief, and they will get relief. So they use the credibility of the due process to their advantage. In this context, I believe that Hafizullah Niazi should have explained this more openly, because his columns give an impression that perhaps Miss Aleema Khan is part of a strategy devised by the generals, consciously or unconsciously. However, she says that she is not consciously or willingly part of it, which is understandable. In my opinion, no political analysis is needed here. They've created a situation and an environment where they are seeking natural leadership for Imran Khan. And this is what I want Hafizullah Niazi to explain more thoroughly, as I have explained it. Now, Niazi Sahab mentions that all the efforts made by Pakistan's generals to finish Imran Khan's leadership have failed. Imran Khan's leadership remains intact. The politics of Pakistan today revolves around a leader sitting in Adiala jail, and yet it's still revolving around him. However, Niazi says that journalists are very intelligently creating situations where a natural leader will emerge. He explains that after August 2023, a situation developed where PTI workers, leaders, media and social media figures gradually began to identify Miss Aleema Khan as a natural leader. He sees this as a natural human reaction. He believes this is the power of Murusiyat, or patriarchal authority, that Imran Khan tried to stop at a principled level. But it is an important power that you cannot stop. This power is strong in societies that are underdeveloped, and it's prevalent outside North America and Europe, especially in South Asia. Hafizullah Niazi should have also explained the natural flow of this power. He further explains that recent events hint at a broader strategy. For instance, when Aleema Khan was arrested, there seemed to be no reason for it, just as when her sons were arrested, it seemed there was no case against them. Later, they were released by the courts. Niazi understands this as part of a strategy to create leadership, comparing it to how other PTI leaders were treated. For instance, when the sons of other prominent leaders like Yasmin Rashid and Ijaz Chaudhry were punished, there was little reaction from PTI's social media. However, when Aleema Khan's sons were detained, PTI's social media exploded in anger and launched a 24-hour campaign. In the column, Niazi also mentions how his own family members commented on his son Hassan's 10-year sentence, accusing him of being part of a scheme to polish leadership by the generals. He recalls historical events, like how Zulfikar Ali Bhutto could have saved himself in 1977, but chose not to deal with General Zia. Later, Benazir Bhutto's return in 1986 symbolized the consolidation of power by the military. But Niazi argues that the PPP, or Pakistan People's Party, never truly challenged the military's authority, particularly at the federal level. He believes that the PPP's power was fractured after Bhutto's execution, and that Benazir Bhutto herself made a deal with General Zia in 1982 to save herself, ultimately fleeing to London. Niazi also goes into detail about General Zia's political maneuvering and how, under CIA's influence, Zia's regime was propped up, even though Pakistan's society didn't benefit. Similarly, after General Musharraf's alliance with the United States in the war against Afghanistan and the Taliban, Pakistan gained little. Niazi's primary argument is that these experiments by Pakistan's generals have always led to increased dangers for the country. He also reflects on the future of Imran Khan's leadership, suggesting that the failure of these military strategies will ultimately lead to Aleema Khan emerging as a natural leader. He explains that these experiments will fail because exposing these strategies leads to their downfall. It's crucial to understand and discuss these strategies openly to ensure they fail. He concludes with an appeal to all Pakistanis, media persons, and even those who are against Imran Khan's politics, to question the military's role in shaping Pakistan's political fate. Did the generals' experiments benefit Pakistan, or did they only benefit themselves and their alliances with foreign powers? He asks whether the military's strategic experiments led to the betterment of the country, or if they caused harm. This is the fundamental question he urges everyone to think about, especially those who support Imran Khan and those who don't. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.